Hi, and welcome to A Punk with Toys. My name is Lawrence, and today we're going to be taking a look at the G.I. Joe Classified Major Bludd. And no, this is not the Combat Armor one. This is not a Target exclusive. I did get this from Walmart, so they are shipping them right now. But these are available on Amazon, BBTS, everywhere that fine toys are sold. Hey, I did that. I did that pretty good. Hasbro should hire me too. Anyway, here we are. We're going to take a look at them. I'm really excited for this because I have the Cobra Island one right there. And I also have the O-ring, my original O-ring right there that we're going to compare them to. And I want to see what the differences are with this. I know all the overlays, including the face sculpt, are the exact same. And this is one of the best face sculpts still to this day. But I am very interested to see what is new on him within the buck and if it actually works better than what they have. So anyway, we're going to take a look at it. We can see that he has a bunch of different red on it. So that is something that is a little bit different. On the side, we got this pretty cool artwork right there. And then we have number 166 in the line. Can you believe we're at 166 figures? Actually, we're past that, to be honest. There's your file card. There's your QR code that takes you straight to hell. And there is your barcode if you want to go in and get that taken or ask them about that. So there we go. We got Major Bludd on the back. We got a snake armor, which mine got canceled. So hopefully I'll still be able to get one. And then we just have a couple of other images of them. But anyway, we're going to take a look at this. No reason to keep on looking at me because you guys want to see this. I know I sure do. But before we do, if you like this type of content, you like when I give you G.I. Joe Classified, and I give a lot, please take a second, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop a classified review. Alright, so Major Bludd is out of his box. So let's take a look at him and see how he actually looks. So quickly we'll look at the accessories and everything that he comes with. So he does come with the helmet. Now you look at this, there's a nice wash to it. It definitely looks like it's kind of been worn. I really like that silver look to it. You can see that it's just the paint's starting to rub off, and it's supposed to be silver underneath it. So I think it looks good. They're very pliable, like all the other classified helmets, and hopefully they rectified the problem that anytime this figure falls, his helmet falls right off. Here are his dog chains, which, as you know, he had a whole bunch from all his kills. Very pliable. Again, I hope they kind of rectified this because when it sits on his plate carrier, it tends to pop off. Now, again, these things aren't the end of the world, and I really do doubt that they fixed them. But if you're going to go back and fix or redo this figure and give him a whole new buck, I don't see why you don't do something like that. Here's his backpack. Alright, that's just very similar to what he had back in the day. It actually holds 3 rockets. This one only holds 2 rockets. Alright, and here are the 2 rockets. And we'll look at the rocket quickly. You can see how it's supposed to look. It plugs into the gun. Now, this is actually when it's firing. Now, there should be a special blast effect for this because technically the rocket is supposed to be in the gun and is firing out of the gun, right? So you look at it, it looks pretty good. It has this little bump right here that's supposed to lock this thing into place. So, we're going to see if they rectified this. Again, I doubt that they did, but well, you know what? Maybe this thing does fit. So one of the biggest issues, if you don't have the original, or maybe you're new to the line, is that these missiles tend to fall off really, really easily. Now these ones here seem to be in, I guess, fairly good. Where if I look at this guy here, you can actually see, like I have sticky tack, and they literally pop off super easy even with the sticky tack. So I mean, they're just supposed to plug in, and they're supposed to stay on. And the biggest problem is that these are these couple of things that will pop off super, super easy and be easy to be lost. Now, I can say this. I mean, these are the original. They have some flex to them. I guess they have about the same flex. Here's the gun that he has. And this one is very soft and pliable. This one is not nearly as soft. I guess it is still soft. I can't believe I've said that many times. This one actually looks to be like he needs a little blue pill, to be honest. But here's the original gun, and it has the rocket that is sticking out. So the rocket is supposed to plug all the way in. So when you look at this here, if you look at the rocket and you see that gun, so the gun has all the designs. It has the nice little iron sight. You can see that rocket is just poking out just a little bit. All right, but the gun looks the exact same. All right, so you got your trigger guard, you got your grip right there. There's your iron sight. This thing is going to plug into it, but he's not supposed to walk around like this. I look at this, and there should be a blast effect that kind of plugs right into here that makes it look like it's firing. I don't believe they have any blast effects that plug in here, and then also you can plug into the back. That's one thing they really should work on doing for little rockets and stuff like this. So, but the gun is the same. Then we get this unique, no blast effect laser revolver, and I gotta say, I do think this thing looks awesome. I liked it from the beginning. So quickly here, there's a little bit of paint right there, and then you get a bit of paint right around the I don't know what that's called. Whatever that's called, you know what it is. But again, it's really like a laser rifle or laser gun, but I do understand it's perfectly fine in my mind, only because this is Cobra and they work in like experimental stuff. And you can see that it was painted here. I like the brighter silver. It just really pops. And again, this one is also flexible. I guess they're about the same pliability. So they probably use the same durometer. At least that's how it seems. All right. As for the actual figure, you see like his helmet just fell right off. All right. As for the figure itself, we'll quickly look at everything, and then we'll compare him to the other one. All right. So he has this like mechanical eye, and he's got a big scar, so you can see he's probably lost his eye in battle. He's got this grinning, or this kind of grinning look here. Nice mustache, awesome teeth. That eye looks good, and then you got the eyebrow right there. He's got the mohawk, and on this one he has silver right there. So it looks like he's going gray. Ears look nice. I mean, all around, I think this thing actually looks pretty darn good. We get to his robotic arm, which on the original here was like one solid piece. No one could ever figure out what it was. A lot of people used to think the original one here was like it was a cover for it, right? Because he's firing a rocket off of it. On this one here, you can see the pauldron here that's kind of protecting it. It does move around here. It has a pinless elbow right there. That's something we're going to talk about in a second. But you can see the mechanics of it. This is a fully mechanized arm going all the way down here to where he has a little bit of has a guard over his fingers. All right, and if you look there, it looks like it's supposed to have some sort of mechanics. It actually looks like it has a nice little wash to it. Everything has this wash. Everything mechanical or metal has a wash to it. On the back here, you just get a little bit of paint right there. You get these straps, and you can see the buckles look really nice. And then you just get the red that's going through. So the key to this figure is lots and lots of red. But he's got this wonderful plate carrier on here. That's his insignia. It was on that one originally too. We're going to compare them in a second there. But you can see the arm. Again, it looks good. Pinless elbow right here. He's got the pauldron. Cobra logo right there on his glove. We get down here. We have 4 canisters, a belt buckle, drop down holster. All right, and then it's connected right here. And then a little bit of silver just to make it pop. Now this here is made for this weapon right here. All right, pinless knees. He goes down to the boots. He's got some nice steel-toed boots. He's got some design here It looks like they've kind of been beat up, a little bit of marks on it, so that's what the silver is. They're supposed to be black, but as you can see, he's been in some battles. They've been hit. Here you can kind of see that little buckle here that goes underneath the heel, wraps completely around, and these things are just kind of clipped right onto it. As for his articulation, he can look down that far, and well, he can actually look up. I haven't seen that in a while. So he can look up and he can look down, side to side. On one side, that's his T-pose there. And on this side, that's about all you get. So I feel like the T-poses should be a little bit better, but it actually runs in the top right there. Bicep swivel, double pinless elbow. Once again here, pinless elbow right there. Again, with the hand, they can kind of move around. He does have a butterfly joints. Now, how well do they work? Well, you know my feelings on that. They don't cross over. Got the ab crunch. He can go down that far, and he can go back that far, and he can turn side to side, kind of just bend just slightly. Jean-Claude Van Damme. He only goes that. Wow, he's got an awful Jean-Claude Van Damme. Drop down hips. They go right back up. There's his thigh swivel. Double pinless knees. There's his boot cut. Now, we're going to do two things quickly. We're going to compare him quickly to the O-ring. Then we're going to compare him to the original figure. Let's take this off. This is my original one. So what we need to do is throw the, what are these? his dog tags onto him, and then his helmet. And I will say his helmet seems to fit a little bit better. So quickly, when we look at the figure, he has a patch over his eye, and they have the same look. And I believe that he's supposed to kind of have this snarl also. Alright, you can see the one eye. The helmet is very similar, although they made the classified one come down further. He's got the same type of plate carrier. He's got the dog tags. Well, he has an armored arm here, where he just has a regular mechanized. On the side here, you have your holster. You can see his boots. They do have heels. All right. And then on this side here, he at one time did have that same insignia that is right there. And then it looks like this was supposed to replace whatever that piece was right there. All right. But now we're going to look at this guy. And I'm really interested to see what is different about these two, because there are some major differences when it comes to the actual buck. And now people might be like, who cares? But this is something that I was wondering if they were willing to do. Are they willing to reissue figures or create or redo figures? And they've done it with the Viper and Beachhead, Duke, Scarlet. Now he has a completely new buck, and I know people are like, big deal. It is a big deal because it goes into tooling, all right? So when we take the helmet off here, we can see here he is the exact same head sculpt. This one here, nice 5 o'clock shadow, which he no longer has on this one. They both had, I guess, the little streak right there in his hair. I feel like this isn't any better. But I will say that I don't know, this seems to, for some odd reason, I feel like the plate carrier sits up a little bit higher on, sits up a little bit higher on the new figure rather than the Cobra Island one. So he has the same pauldron right here. They took off the Mars, and the arm is the same per se, except for they completely redid it and made him pinless. So you can see right here, these are pinned. They got rid of the pinless, but they left the arm the exact same, right down to all the detail. Same plate carrier. The arm over here, this is completely different. All right. So he doesn't have the insignia over here, so this is more retro. Gives you this feel, gives you that actual right there. Same color and everything. New shoulder, new arm, and again, they redid the pauldron that's over here, but it looks like we have the same hand. And on this one, they also have the same hand. We get down to the legs. Well, first off, we'll take a look at the crotch. The crotches look like they're the same. And then what you're going to have is the top of the leg is the same, but the pant leg is completely different. All right? Different knees. And then when you get down to the boots are the same. You can see the marks in the boots. They just decided to paint them here. And the same steel toe boot. So there's a lot that they changed on the new figure. And I'm fine with that. This buck is older. It is absolutely amazing and crazy to think that they redid the arm to be pinless. I would assume they would have just kept it. I mean, you could have done a pinless one on this side. No big deal. This is actually the Cobra Island Trooper hand, arm, whatever you want to call it. Keep it the same boots, but the legs are completely different. The legs are completely different up to the thigh here. And then I think the waist, your crotch area, and right up here, your joints up here are the same. So a lot of reuse, but a lot of new tooling too, and a lot of under tooling that you probably aren't going to really notice. Again, people know what pinless is now, and everyone wants pinless. I do too, but it's not the end of the world if someone doesn't use it. So as for the helmet, as I said, this helmet, it just falls off. If I pop this one on here and he falls, I don't feel like it comes off nearly as easy. All right. As for the backpack here, I have it the right. I don't think it does matter actually. So it's supposed to go. I'm trying to see it. I mean, maybe I have it on the wrong way. Either way, it doesn't matter. This thing does not stay on. It might, because you also have a little peg right there for the gun. Now, if you're wondering why are they doing this, well, this is what they were doing originally. All right. So actually, this is how it is supposed to go. I knew there's a reason. So we're going to plug this bad boy right onto it. We have to move the plate carrier just a little bit. Alright, so that's the reason why. You have to move this into place. That's why it's sitting so low. So now once we get that bad boy in there, I'm going to say the missiles, I think, or the rockets, are going to have a hard time. So, get that right into place there. And again, if you're wondering why do you do this, I want to show you what you're going to get out of the box. Not what it's like once it's fully done. There's a lot of other wonderful reviewers that do it like that. See how fast? Man, I really wish... This is what they should have redone. Honestly, they didn't redo the arm. They have other arms they could have used. They should have spent the money on getting the rockets to like clip into the backpack. Because it is the most frustrating thing that you're going to deal with on this figure. Alright. That's the old helmet. That thing plugs directly into there. But I do like the fact that the helmet seems to stand a little bit better. But I still... This figure looks amazing. One of the best head sculpts they've done. But there are some things that I think they could have improved on. So there you go. And I didn't even bother popping the head off because I used different neck pegs. So there's no reason to really pop that off. A matter of fact, quickly, I'm wondering. The new Major Bludd is actually taller. You see that? He's much taller. Like, he's a good amount taller. So, the buck that they're using definitely makes him not seem taller, but is taller, which is going to affect a lot of other things, like the plate carrier, possibly, and different things like that. So, there you go. That's Major Bludd. Again, one of the problems with these types of figures is when you get the boot that cuts up like that, they struggle, especially they end up rocking. It's one of the issues with a lot of the ninjas. But I can still get them onto one foot. Not the greatest pose, to be honest, but and I will say this, when you're trying to get him into the pose that you want, pose him first, then put the backpack and the rocket on, because you'll just thank me later. you'll just thank me. You'll just thank me later. So there you go. That is your Major Bludd. Again, I want a blast effect that makes it look like it's firing off of this. There you go. That is your new Major Bludd. All right, so there you go. That is the new Major Bludd. I feel like some of the things they should have addressed, they didn't address. The dog tags sitting better. They should have fixed that. They should have fixed how the rockets sit on the backpack. Again, you didn't have to redo the. All you had to do is redo the backpack. I know that's all, but I mean, you redid the arm. I would have liked to have these sit on properly. They're supposed to sit in the crevice. They just don't. You put them on a new buck. That's nice. The helmet stays on better. But I feel like if you were going to go back and do it, you kind of went back to do it to say, hey, you know what? It's been a long time. This was Cobra Island. This is the pandemic era. That's when this came out. Some people had a hard time getting them. These things were abundant on the shelves for a while. But they should have went back and redid a lot of other things. The head sculpt, didn't even need to touch it. It's just too good. Boots are fine. Even the weapons, they don't bother me. The rocket's not staying on. The dog tag's not staying down. Those are just some of the things I feel like you could have addressed if you were going back to reissue this figure. And it wasn't a full reissue. It was being redone. He was actually supposed to come out on the retro card, if you didn't know this. He was supposed to be the last retro card. They decided to pull it back because of the uproar with him. And they put that Crimson Guard out. He was the replacement for this. So anyway, I'm going to get out of here. You've watched this. You've seen him compared to the O-Ring. You've seen him compared to the other one. You go back and watch my old video, but I can tell you it probably wasn't that good because it was so long ago. I'm not saying that this one's that much better, but I've learned a thing or two. But anyway, there you are. That is your new Major Bludd. He's going to be available everywhere. So if you didn't get one, or maybe you're like, hey, it's just time to update it. It is a better buck. I will give you that 100%. But there's a few other things that I feel really should have been addressed. But I'm going to get out of here. Please, you stayed this long, take a second. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop a classified review. Now, don't go anywhere. You're going to say, you know what? 2 of these guys, have you ever done a Cobra Commander? Well, you're in luck. Cobra Commander Battle Armor or Combat Ready is right up here, and down here will be a playlist of all the classified figures I reviewed. Take care.